Yo, what ya doing? Welcome back to a new review for Imouto Sae Ireba episode number 6. And this was a nice way to go from weird cute girl over some comedy to something emotional by the end of it. In the span of the usual 20 something minutes we have per episode. So we get to know a bit more of the manga creator who is going to work on Itsuki's manga adaptation of his novel. And yeah, I have to say she is a weird girl. Itsuki's impressed by her art and the scenes she was talking about, the amount of love she developed for little sister type characters. And yeah, they were hitting off really good, so obviously we will see more of her later on. And it goes to the point that Nayu is kinda jealous, because when she found out that she's a girl. But also that the manga creator Kaiko, she is, well, a huge fan of Itsuki's books in general, so it's really nice to see that. And yeah, it's kind of the basic thing of, okay, we have the manga adaptation of his novel, and that mangaka is a huge fan of his series all along, so yeah, nothing too surprising. But the way she was talking about the toes of that character when she was walking the stairs, well, that was weird. But hell, I'm all in for weird cute characters, just saying. And then we got to the party with the editor, Chihiro. Hell, the tax accountant is also back. Haruto wasn't really happy about it, he was afraid. But and then the tax lady wanted to hire Chihiro for work because she's cooking really, really good. And then we had the official reveal. Chihiro is a girl all along. Yeah, guess what? We already knew it from the very beginning. I mean, if Chihiro was really a guy, then I would be surprised. Like, really surprised. Like, okay, I didn't see this coming. But, well, it's a kind of boyish looking girl. And then we had a scene that left somewhat of a bitter aftertaste in my mouth. Something that wasn't making me really happy, so that scene, well, half of that scene, because half of that scene was just a crazy dude, but the second half was, goddamn, really? Was there a need for this? I don't think so. And by the end of the episode we have the usual four characters sitting, Nayu, Miyako, Haruto being at Itsuki's place. Surprisingly, they are always at his place. Well, okay, we will leave it aside because it doesn't matter. Then they were playing a card game. Yeah, you have a problem and you have to solve this problem with the cards on your hand. And we were going through some crazy stuff. Basically, we got to know that Itsuki's mother died when he was quite a bit younger than he is now. And also that, well, okay, we knew it, but it was once again said that Nayu became a shut-in because she was bullied. And damn, her reaction was really crazy. Scary, scary. And by the end of it, the first episode started to air of Haruto's anime adaptation for his novel, And yeah, Miyako cried even more than him. Not because it was a good show, but because she clearly knows what it feels like to see that all the hard work you put into something and then it didn't work out. As for Haruto stating that, well, people may call his novels commercial, that he's picking out what's popular, what's working, what's selling, and then using this, but obviously he wouldn't be able to go on about it for 13 volumes or something like this if he didn't like it. And hey, in fact, he loves the character he creates as well, and the world, the story, and seeing this being messed up in the anime. Damn, this must be hard. But yeah, this episode was really enjoyable, and after last week's episode, this one comes second to the previous episode, because those episodes, they are really, really good. Especially if we see more of the characters and some of the backstory is told through comedy. But if you think about it for half a second, you're like, that's tough. And with a scene that really made me go, really? Basically, when after the party and the picnic in the park, Itsuki was enjoying a lead pillow, and Chihiro was going to Itsuki's place to get some stuff, and they called out to her, being like, yeah, be careful, don't get groped by some weirdos. Well, guess what? That exactly happened. She was walking by, and the illustrator, because he came from Itsuki's place, wanting to visit him, but no one was there, and he walked past by her, and then he turned around, saw her butt, and he was fascinated, being like, oh, damn, I could reach a new level as an illustrator. And then he asked her to show him her butt. Obviously, Shiro denied, and up to this point, it was okay. It wasn't too crazy. But then when she continued to walk and he actually kinda ran after her and was pulling down her pants, damn, this was... really? This is the stuff that I don't really like. Hey, protagonist falling over and landing with his face somewhere on the female body. Okay, that's stupid slapstick comedy. I'm fine with it. Hell, I mean, we have entire mangas and an entire anime show with several seasons following exactly this stuff. And you know what? It's called to laugh through. And you know what as well? Hell, it's a fucking popular and entertaining show. Just deal with it. But if you have a character that is actually trying to do this, then it's going to be creepy. And I don't mean the okay type of creepy, I mean the, well, damn, that's creepy, okay? So, yeah, I wasn't really a fan of this scene. Well, the second half of that scene. At least he got his face kicked and stuff like this, but, well, okay. But when we got to the party game with the cards and we had some weird things to do, like, well, okay, you broke a window is broken in school and you have to solve that problem. You have dumbbells, a moped, and a fire extinguisher. And then it was Nayu's thing, because they went in order who enjoyed school the most. And 3 out of 4 characters, damn, they didn't have a fun time in school, but that's okay. For Itsuki, his problem was, well, it's all related to the characters. It's quite hilarious, to be honest. It just works out and I really liked it. So for Itsuki, this problem was a high school kid calling the teacher mom. And then Itsuki went all serious, was like, well, yeah, okay, I lost my mother around that time, and yeah, maybe if she reminded me of her, that might be happen. And then he was going on to solve that problem in a way, and the others were like, oh, goddamn, sorry, yeah, it's okay, we're all fine with your answer to that problem. For Nayu, Itsuki was the only one who was fine with it, and the others were like, okay, that's scary, because she was going on and going basically all crazy about those people who didn't do anything when she was bullied in school. And then she went all over Itsuki again because he stepped in and stopped her crazy train of thought. Haru basically said that, well, the club he joined in school fell apart because of personal relationships. So yeah, it all comes back to the characters. And Miyuko is pretty much the only one who is somewhat enjoying university, so yeah, she's the most normal out of the characters we have there. Also with the editor going on about his job that he had to pull 2 all-nighters, not going home, and then still being so happy when a book gets released, and then he complained a bit about the author and the illustrator. But by the end of it, he just loves his job, and the way Miyako was impressed by this, maybe she's going to join a publisher in the future. I don't know, but it would be kinda cool, so really nice to see, because she's in university and she was asking herself what she's actually doing, so maybe she's just seeing the authors and the mangaka probably later on and the editor, that maybe she joins that industry, but not as a writer, but maybe on the editing side or at some form at the publisher. We don't know, and I really like that aspect of this show, that we see some things that are told through jokes, but actually are some solid lines, so yeah, I'm really happy with it. And by the end of it, with the airing anime and the fans tweeting about it, of the novel, and then going on about how the voice acting is off, the animation quality looks like it's done by grade schoolers, and all the stuff like this, and even Haruto being like, okay, I got that show yesterday, but I wanted to watch it when it's airing, but actually he was just way too afraid to see it and all the stuff, and by the end of it he was in tears because, well, he still loves his books he writes, and even if people call it commercial and calling out him that he's just looking up what's popular and what's selling, but hell, you know what? just look at all that isekai trend going on in the light novel part, and hey, you know what? It's fucking popular for some reason. I'm not saying that I had that stuff, because they're really, really good ones. It's just that this is a common trend, and hey, around when Sword Art Online was getting the release and the anime, hey, you know what? We had suddenly a shit ton of new shows involving, well, video games and more virtual reality stuff. Or transported to a video game that, or a game world that is based on the video game that person played. But by the end of it, it's nothing really too crazy. I mean, it's just a trend, and it's going to be over soonish. Maybe a bit later than we expect, or something like this, and maybe we will go back to regular fantasy, whatever. But I'm going off topic, and I want to stay on point with Naruto being frustrated about the outcome of the anime adaptation of his novel, and seeing the others react to it, being able to understand but not knowing how to comfort him, and then Miyako just crying because, well, you put effort into something and by the end it's not working out. Well, of course, it's frustrating, and it's totally normal to be upset about it. And then Haruto goes home, Nayu is comforting Miyako, and yeah, Haruto just thanked Miyako. So yeah, he got a lot out of her reaction, and damn, that's basically the end of this episode. And you know what? I fucking love this episode. I can't wait for the next episode to come. Will we get trouble in the future of the story? Maybe not the anime, but with a light novel? Well, maybe it's the author of Haganai, and if you have ever read the spoilers or ending of Haganai, then yeah, it can turn out pretty insane, but I hope that he learned a lot and that he will write a better ending for the story. But yeah, that's it for now. So as always, thanks for watching. I hope I will see you guys next time as well. See ya!